Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Rethink podcast, at least the COVID-19
version.
And I am, with mixed emotions, welcoming back my co-podcast. What are you?
I don't know.
Codfast
podcast
host. Cole Willer, the one and only.
The one and only.
Mr. Flat Bill.
Yeah. I wore tight pants for you. I didn't wear anything Villanova.
Yeah, we're going to take your word for it?
Yeah. You don't want me to stand up?
I don't.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
But
I'll stay on
we
the
have
side
to
of the
consider
table.
others and cause them to stumble.
No doubt.
Right?
Yeah, no doubt.
A lot of people stuck at home last night. They're just like...
Waiting for it.
They're just waiting for it.
Yep.
And like we're not that kind of
I
podcast.
totally get. Yeah. And I have to stay on this side of the table anyway.
Yeah.
For social distancing. So no need to stand
You know
up.
what we ought to do? We ought to flip a switch.
We'll flip the switch later. Yeah. I can't wait for that.
I love the J-Lo.
Oh, the J-Lo one is so good.
She's 50.
I know. Doesn't look like it.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
Super Bowl, which I'm not saying that I enjoyed that at all because it was what it was.
Yeah. The worst.
But she's the same age that Betty White was in Golden Girls.
Yeah. They don't look the same. They just don't.
They don't.
No.
Is it the water?
When I saw that
Nutrition?
on Twitter, that comparison, I was like, huh, interesting.
Yeah.
Not normal.
No.
But we're back.
We are back.
Yeah.
We are back. And I'm excited to see you.
Yeah. I'm
excited to be out of the house.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I love my wife. I love my puppies.
Yep.
And
It's been good being home with Booker and Taylor, but
but
I'm on this end of the pendulum for like being extroverted, and Taylor is on this end of introversion.
she's in heaven.
She is in heaven, and I am. It is my nightmare.
Yeah.
I literally had a counseling session last week based off of the first week of quarantine because it screwed with my head so much.
That's an essential service, counseling.
Counseling,
right now,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. I was like, dude, I'll pay you triple. Just get me in.
Yeah.
Like I needed it.
Yeah. Hey, let's stay with that though for a little bit, okay?
Yeah.
Because I'm listening to all these pastors and stuff, and they do their podcasts and stuff like that. And this past weekend, I meant everything I said about fear and panic cannot run our lives, and that God's not going to leave us, and He's with us all the time, and He made promises to us, and I believe all that. Okay.
Sure.
But all right,
yeah.
I got to be honest. I'm not doing great.
Yep.
I was talking to my lead team. We have a like 2 or 3 times a week. We kind of Zoom in through a Microsoft Teams thing, right? And so we're all going kind of around checking in and stuff like that. And everybody's talking about, I did outside yard work, and that just feeds my soul. And and it's like I'm picking up. I have a puppy now.
Yeah, you do.
And I am spending most of my time just watching them poop and then going and picking it up and then sitting down and refilling my drink and going, I'll wait to poop again. Right?
Yeah.
That's the highlight of this mega pastor, mega church pastor life, right? But it got to around to me, and I was like, I'm not doing well. And I don't know if anybody out there can relate to that. It's like, because I'm just started this whole light wind things, and I believe all that. And but I'm a guy of routine, right? I get up. I know it's weird. I get up at 3 in the morning. You get up early. I get up at 3 in the morning. I'm in the gym at 4. I'm out by 5:30. I'm at Chick-fil-A at 6 o'clock, which they've changed their hours now. But it doesn't matter because now I'm just like, and then I go to bed like at 8:30.
Yep.
And now I'm staying up to like I went to bed 11:30 last night.
Yeah.
I didn't even know there were 2 11:30s in the day.
Yeah.
But
There shouldn't be.
there
That's for
shouldn't
sure.
be.
Yeah.
And then I slept in until like 6:30 this morning, which is late for me, and just to take the dogs out. And it's like I'm fighting like a depression.
Me too. Me too. And my routine is shot. Like there's no working out. There's no sleeping in or
I noticed
waking
that.
up early.
That's why you're in a big
That's why I'm
bulky shirt.
big shirt. Can't see it. But
I sit on my chair and eating, and I can hear myself getting fatter.
Oh, I can't tell you how many packs of Oreos I've been through. Taylor's like, you're reading them before I can even get to them. They're so mint Oreos, just the go-to.
They're
too
good with a BLA.
Oh, if Bud Light could give us a BLA right now
You have to go
for
to Canada,
quarantine,
but you can't go to Canada.
I can't. Yeah, it's sad. Yeah, I'm supposed to leave tomorrow to get my arm finished for tattooing, but can't leave now.
Oh yeah,
Sad times.
So how are you coping with it?
It's off and on. Like there's little bits of like yesterday. I need social interaction. We have a family at Aurora. They're going through a whole bunch of stuff.
Aurora's your campus?
Aurora's the campus that I'm at.
Right,
Yeah. There's a family there. Their son is at Children's Hospital. He's 3 months old, having to have heart surgeries and trach surgeries and just crazy stuff. And I went with them the other day, met up with them in the middle of a surgery and just checked in like, hey, how are things going? Things are not good. It's a dumb question to ask in the middle of that. But like, hey, what do you need? Like, we can't help with the doctors. We can't help with all that. Like, what can we help with?
You can't even go visit.
No. Yeah. At Children's Hospital, I mean, they have people at the doors with masks. They're like, you can't come in. They can come out. You can't go in.
Right.
So we went out. They said like, hey, we need to let our dogs out all day so we can stay at the hospital, but our fence is blown down. The other neighbor won't fix it. Like, what? Can you guys do that? And I was like, yeah, if we can, for sure. He's like, will you come repair it? And we get there and we're like, you can't repair this fence. So his men's group, like their group is incredible. They brought him food at the hospital. They've done a bunch of stuff. His men's group comes out yesterday.
Because they all want to get out of the house.
Because they all want to get out of the house as well. A couple other guys from like our load in team, our security team, like a bunch of different volunteer pockets that are like chomping at the bit to help out.
Yeah.
Show up, head to Home Depot, buy a bunch of wood, pickets, all that type of stuff. And we built probably an 80-foot fence yesterday. I supervised. Yeah. Because,
that's leadership.
It's leadership. Yeah. Yeah. And I have zero handy skills. I like to support local businesses. I don't like to do it myself. So
you don't have any hunting skills either. Remember?
No, I do. Remember that one time I almost shot that one bird?
Almost shot my dog?
Oh, the dog too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If I had the shotgun though that we were talking about before, pistol grip shotgun, I'd be clapping birds all day.
So you built a fence.
So we built a fence. Yeah. Good redirect.
Yeah.
So we built a fence and it was just like getting around people, whether it's on like a Zoom call or like when we have our team meetings, they end up being like 2 hours because it's like mostly me, but we miss just social interaction. So finding ways to connect with people right now has been the only way that my headspace has been good. Like me and Taylor can connect or argue or whatever, like right now it's like a lot of like figuring that out. How do we make time for each other? How do we not kill each other? How do we like, our condo has never felt so small. Like it just continually shrinks and shrinks and shrinks, especially as Booker's like running around.
How old is he now?
He's 1 year and 3 months. Yeah, it's awesome. He's crazy.
But see, it's like a puppy. He's not potty trained either.
He's not potty trained either. He beat on the couch the other night. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, so talk about, so I got a great question in from a husband, and I think this is probably for wives too. But it's like, we have no alone time. We used to have a date night or we would have time together. And now it's like, we have no time to ourselves.
Yeah.
And, I don't have that problem as much because I don't have kids at home, but like, how are you and Taylor dealing with, okay, usually there's some time apart and then there's some time here and then I can put Booker here or have your mom watch, whatever that is. Yeah. And then you get time for yourself. So I know structure and routine are really, really important. Yeah. So as a young, father and husband, like there's a bunch of them out there, going, I don't know what to do. Yeah. And this, I'm not just talking about intimacy or sex and stuff like that. Yeah. I'm talking about just alone time. Like my time with my own head, my time with the person is most important to me. How are you all finding or carving out? Have you found any type of balance?
We found some rhythms. So we're still figuring it out.
Yeah, that's fair.
But we have some rhythms. So like we usually, we're like you. We put Booker down. He's in bed by 7:30. We get ready for bed. We're in bed by 8 o'clock. We watch TV. We're asleep by 9 usually without the quarantine. With the quarantine, we're up to like 11:30 now, midnight. The other night we were up to like 12:15. It's like, what? This isn't college anymore. We can't do this. But we've usually been able to find time of like, okay, we put Booker down, we spend time together, or we have time throughout the day. And now it's like we have all this time together, but it's like, how do we co-parent in the middle of this? And like, it's not me just being like, Taylor, you do it all. I'm gonna go work in the other room, but I need to go work. So how do we balance that?
Right.
So we've been going on a walk every day. And so I take the dog because the dog weighs more than all of us and just like yanks your arm out. And then Taylor takes Booker and we go to the park, spend a little bit of time at the park, but then
not touching the equipment,
but just walking around it. Yeah. But nobody's there. So it's great.
Yeah.
But then when we get home, like Booker takes naps. How do we like intentionally connect during those naps? Because it's really easy to jump on our phones. It's really easy to just like zone into Tiger King and not pay attention to anything,
Yeah.
But it's like, how do we leverage the little bits of time that we get by ourselves, like intentionally? So right now, what we're trying to do is once 5 o'clock hits, we don't have our phones until Booker's asleep. So from 5 until 7:30 ish, no phones at all.
No social media, no
social media.
Text,
Yep. And so it's like, we're even trying to have it so that way the TV's not on, but sometimes it's really good to throw Tangled on because Booker is zoned into it or whatever.
Right.
But we're putting our phones down for like a set amount of time. When we do pick up our phones, like when we're in bed, the board game Ticket to Ride, you can get the app on your phone and you can play online. So we're playing with like the Heslops, we're playing with Brandon Luther, we're playing with all those guys online.
Brandon Luther has like 300 rolls of toilet paper.
Yeah, he's a psycho.
He's a single guy.
Has that, but normally, so without the quarantine, without the hoarding, he has 100 rolls at all times at home. It's like, that's crazy.
So if it all goes south, people,
Brandon Luther's house,
we
I'll
will
give you the
publicize
address.
his address.
But we're trying to find little bits of time where it's like, okay, where can we connect? And then how do we like set that aside? Like, how do we create the routine of like, instead of being like, oh, it's 8:30, we're now going to sit across from each other and talk. How do we make it feel more natural? And it's like the other night we we're like, okay, let's sit down and let's watch a movie and like block it out of like, we're doing this, no phones, just a movie. And for me, like I had quality time just sitting on the couch together is great for me.
Yeah.
For her, she's like, I could get up and clean. I could get up and do the dishes. And I'm like, that's my nightmare. But it's like, can we just sit for 2 hours? We watched 1917.
Oh,
it was so good.
Yeah.
But just like sit and then like as it's going, be like, that was really cool. That and getting to connect that way, we connect through like talking through shows and movies without our phones. Once our phones get involved, it's like we zone out completely.
So I think you stumble onto something that maybe a lot of us pay attention to, and that's the intentionality.
Yeah.
And it's like, so if you have elementary age kids, and I mean, I think that the online schooling is just now getting ready to start.
Today's day one.
Breaks. Yeah, I think a lot of schools are like soft launching or soft testing, and Wednesday it really kicks in. But I think that like, so my both my son and daughter, they have, two little elementary, then preschool, and then babies, right? And then it's like, it's just a zoo all the time, constant. And I think, that we have to look at these intentionalities and as best, and this is really, your intentions are good. I think that the key is you've got to find some normalcy and routine. Mm-hmm. And that is, I get out of bed at this time, and I take a shower.
Yeah.
That when I really start getting depressed, I'm like, oh, I'll bathe Tuesday.
I showered last night for the first time in 3 or 4 days.
Thank you.
Yeah. And it was like, I got to shave my head. Like I shave my body, and I was like, I'm a hairy animal right now. Like I'm just depressed right now. I can't
look at me.
Nothing is normal right now.
I think we have to say, okay. I mean, so, I watch those Doomsday Prepper shows.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
One of the things that they learn from people like in isolation, or even like people up like in like Alaska and stuff like that, it's dark, is that they have to establish a routine, because in isolation they'll just go crazy if you don't see the sun, or you don't get to go outside, or you don't get to go to jobs. So like to say, we get out of bed at this time in the morning, right? We walk around the block. I was going to throw out this idea, and we'll develop this for later. Like this physical challenge for not men, but men and women is like, we should set a goal, like every day we could be the most fit church in America.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a challenge to all the other churches. We can kick your butt. Right. And that would be like every day we do this many this many this. We walk this far.
Yeah.
And then everybody kind of checks in, and if we could do that, and I just think there's some routine of that. But then when you have elementary age kids going, okay, mom and dad are going to sit out here for 30 minutes on the back patio, bleed, die, or vomit. Otherwise, leave us alone.
Yeah.
And that's not always possible.
Mm-hmm.
But, and then going from 5 to 7, no phones. But the other thing would be like from 7 to 8, on your phone with no guilt.
Yep. Yeah.
I've got to connect with my buddies. I want to check in. I got some buddies that do a virtual happy hour.
Yeah.
And so like we'll get on there and we're like, so it's old fashioned Tuesday, right? And it's like, and we're just talking about like this, But to have those wins and those markers and those routines, and saying our date night isn't going to be at, a local restaurant. Date night is going to be, we have an hour and a half, and we're going to take a walk, or we're going to sit on the back porch, or we're going to watch a movie together, or we're going to do this, but it's us.
Yep. We've been buying like the cheap, like the different types of dice games and stuff, like Quicks or things like that from Target. They're like $7, and then we sit at the table for an hour before we go to bed and play like these random games that nobody's ever heard of, and it's great.
Robin got a 1,000-piece puzzle.
Yeah, that's
we just stare at the box.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, that'll be a beautiful picture one day.
It will be.
Yeah.
Or
puzzles
be
are
in the
terrifying.
dumpster. I just hate them. But I think that I'm going to wrap this up, because we're going to do this in 15-minute segments, and then maybe we'll do a part 2 here in a second. But I think I just wanted to acknowledge that while everybody's talking about this is an opportunity to spend time with your kids, and this is an opportunity to spend time with your wife and your husband, and there's an opportunity to get some stuff done around the house. I think the other thing that we have to acknowledge is that, hey, it's really nuts right now, and we thrive on some type of routine.
Yep.
And that is, I get up, I do some things, I have some goals, I have some time set apart. time for Taylor, or
Yeah.
time for Robin, time for social media or phones, time for prayer. Across the country, they're doing like 1 minute of prayer at 8:00 every night. Some of my buddies get on, they pray together.
Our student ministry team does that at 3 every day.
Really?
Yeah. On Instagram.
I think stuff like that's great. And then to say, okay, it's time for play, and that's time for. I need time by myself. I just got off 6 months of sabbatical.
Yeah.
Where I was by myself pretty much for 6 months. And it was me and Jesus. And I'm okay with solitude. Mm-hmm. I don't do well in isolation. And now I just got back, and I feel like I'm thrust back into the abyss. And I just need some patterns in my life. So I guess I want to kind of leave everybody with this, and that is, I love what Lindsay said at the end of the weekend service at Flatiron. Her wedding's been postponed or canceled, at least the dream in her hand, and she's angry and sad about that. And then she also trusts Jesus. And to say, hey, I'm holding my anger and my sadness and my frustration and my depression in one hand, and I'm holding on to Jesus in the other, and they're both real. Mm-hmm. And not feeling guilty that, well, if I trusted Jesus, I wouldn't be sad, or I wouldn't be. Yeah. I think that's not even realistic. And so I want to leave you with that is, hey, there's a lot of good that God can use this for, but it's really tough as well. And as a leader in your home, is to say, hey, Taylor, I'm going to lead out. There's time for Booker. There's time for you. There's time for me. There's time for God. There's time for my buddies, because I need all those things going on in my life. And just to throw them away and say it doesn't affect me isn't real.
It's not real.
Yeah.
That's good.
Hey, I'm really glad you're here.
I'm glad to be back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you want this to go on so you don't have to go home.
Yeah.
You can build a fence in my house.
We're about to do part 7 here in a little bit. We'll just keep this podcast.
Let's do it. Cut it. No, all right. Hey, we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
See ya.